California stores are now legally required to keep toy aisles gender neutral. That's right, this story comes to us from Spencer Baculi over at Bounding Into Comics. With the rollover into a new year, a previously passed piece of legislation requiring any toy retailer within the state to present their relevant wares in a gender neutral fashion has now gone into effect across the entirety of California. Originally brought before the Golden State's legislature in October of 2021, the California Assembly's current member, Evan Lowe, and the then member, Christina Garcia, Assembly Bill 1084 requires a retail department store that is physically located in California that has a total of 500 or more employees across all California retail department locations that sells childcare items or toys to maintain a gender neutral section or area to be labeled at the discretion of the retailer in which a reasonable selection of items and toys for children that it sells shall be displayed regardless of whether they have been traditionally marketed for either girls or boys. As defined by the bill's authors, this gender neutral display requirement will apply to all products designed or intended by the manufacturer to facilitate sleep, relaxation, the feeding of children, or to help children with teething. Designed for persons 12 years of age or younger. Yeah, that's the weird part, isn't it? That's a little weird, right? I mean, at least at 12 years old, you can maybe have a conversation about what the heck gender neutral is to begin with, but younger than that? What? And those which are, quote, intended by the manufacturer to be used by children when they play. That's right. Quote, unjustified differences in similar products that are traditionally marketed either for girls or boys can be more easily identified by the consumer if similar items are displayed closer to one another in one undivided area of the retail sales floor. Keeping similar items that are traditionally marketed either for girls or boys separated makes it more difficult for the consumer to compare the products and incorrectly implies that their use is to be sectioned by one gender or another. It's legalese, very strange. Of course, like most pieces of legislation, AB 1084 also holds a penalty for those who violate its terms. Following the bill's enactment date of January 1st, 2024, quote, a retail department store that fails to comply with these provisions is liable for a civil penalty to not exceed $250 for a first violation or $500 for a subsequent violation as provided. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? They're going to penalize you because you're not going to stick a bunch of this stuff together with GI Joes. You're not going to sit Barbie Superwoman next to a Lego set, right? Oh well. Now you have to. In addition to its numerical designation, this newly realized piece of legislation, also colloquially known as Britain's Bill, named after the then 9-year-old self-proclaimed feminist Britton Sires, whose activism against gender roles inspired the bill. Recalling the experience that sparked her gender-neutral toy aisle campaign, Sires told Spectrum News in 2021 that upon one particular visit to the store, quote, I was like, wait, why is there a boys section? I'm a girl, but I want to go in it. The boys section is more about knowledge and trying to get them smarter so they can go get into a good college and get a good job. And the women's side is more like makeup and cooking sets. Whether it's the state or the world, you can change it if you just let people listen to you. Yeah, that's a 9-year-old that inspired legislation about putting a gender neutral section in every toy store, or there will be a monetary fine if they don't. Okay? This is insane and you know it. There's no reason to do this. There's absolutely nothing stopping you, Britain, from just going down the boys' aisle. There's nothing stopping a boy from going down the girl aisle. There is no security team that comes down from the rafters, scoops you up, black bags you, and hurls you out into the parking lot because you set foot into the wrong aisle. They want you to buy things. They can be hot pink or they can be lime green. It doesn't matter. They want you to buy them. This new section, all it's going to do is just pile the clearance aisle items into one section. That's all they're going to do is turn it into the new clearance aisle section. That way they can get away with dumping all the stuff that wouldn't sell into one space, then telling the government, congratulations, it didn't work. Anyway, hit like and subscribe. We'll find out what happens with this bill as it goes on. I can't wait to see what happens to these toy stores, man.